Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Harlequin here, and welcome to another episode of HarlequinCasts Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Today's game is on Sywall Frontier, a nice little desert oasis-y kind of war-torn town, all that sort of thing going on here. Nice looking 1 versus 1 between 2 players I have definitely had the privilege to be able to work with before in the past. And yeah, it's a pretty fun game out there, so I've just been kind of having fun hanging out in general chat, getting ready to cast these games. General chat, bunch of crazy people out there, really fun. And by the way, I like to, I've said this once before, but whenever I cast Company of Heroes or Dawn of War 2, don't get all freaked out. Like I do both games. I'll just keep doing both games forever here. So just relax, man. Enjoy each other's games. It's all good. Every now and then I see people like, oh no, he cast a Company of Heroes game. Will you ever do Dawn of War 2? Yeah, dude, tomorrow. It's fine. Just relax. Anyhow, speaking of relaxing, we're not going to be relaxed. We're going to go ahead and get this game started. So on the left-hand side, controlling the mech commander today, we have Mr. Texaneous. Texaneous, a great player here. I'm casting a couple of his games today. He recently got back from a break. He was working for quite a while, making some good dough out there. Now he's back to climbing the ladder and representing the orc players out there everywhere. On the right-hand side of the map, controlling the Inquisitor, we have Mr. Dullahan. Now, Dullahan used to be known as It's Sexy Time. He changed his name shortly after Retribution came out, but he was featured in my pre-release event, as was Texaneous, both of these guys. I hosted the pre-release Retribution event for Relic Entertainment there, so both of these guys competed in that tournament there. And yeah, so you probably saw him as It's Sexy Time. Let's go ahead and get this game started and see what the hell's going on here. I certainly love the Inquisitor, and I definitely love Texaneous, and I love It's Sexy Time. They're all good people here, so it's always fun just to kind of watch these guys play. This is clearly a ladder game here. I believe the two of them are just kind of chatting about all of that. We can see kind of standard capping going on right now here for Dullahan. He's just going to go ahead and grab his power, grab his requisition. That's pretty straightforward. However, we do see being a little bit more clever here with the mech commander since he can teleport. It looks like Texaneous just going to go ahead and grab this forward power node instead, and then opt later on to grab this requisition up top. So double power nodes right off the bat for Texaneous. Little differences like that. Looks like Dullahan went for the Sentinel as his first unit there and is now getting a second Guardsman squad, which is going to go nicely with the fact that Texaneous went for double Shooter Boy squad. So really standard opening from both players. A little bit of a moonwalking Sentinel here. Going to go ahead. Oh, he was just about to get the decap off from that point. And you can see here that Texaneous, in a nice defensive move, went ahead and upgraded that point to have a power node on it. So therefore, preventing that. You can see here that the Inquisitor is just going to keep capping the middle here. The Guardsmen are moving out throughout the center of the map and just starting to get into some light skirmishing right now with the Shooter Boys. The Sentinel does have to be careful because a lot of, especially once the big shooters come out, the Sentinel can get focused down pretty quickly here. But he also can turn the tides on a lot of attacks just by getting some good ground pounds off right there. I can see the mech commander just kind of flanking around. Boom! Nice use of ground pound there just to prevent him from messing around with that, capping that requisition point. Usually just kind of ground pounding a lone hero is not that useful, but when it's going to interrupt a capture, that's always a fine move. Now we can see Dullahan kind of pressing into the north here. We've got double Guardsman squads versus double Shooter Boy squads. This is exactly the moment where we want a Sentinel to kind of brave the elements, charge all the way in there, and get a good ground pound off. And nothing. It looks like they all retreated, and he either didn't have it up on cooldown yet, or just realized that it wasn't going to matter. So the Guardsman took a couple of casualties there. Looks like this squad has been upgraded to have a Sergeant here. It is 7 out of 9, so it took 2 casualties there. The other squad's looking in rather fine fettle indeed there. So map control right now looking pretty good. It looks like Dullahan has got a tenuous grasp over it for the time being here. The mech commander right now moving around, and boom, there we have it. We have a crossbolt pistol upgrade right now for the Inquisitor, and going to go ahead and use the crippling volley just to kind of pin these troops down on the ground right now. You can see it kind of sprays arrows in a large area, pinning all the troops down, kind of preventing them from moving up. Good to use against melee units, and bam, there we go with the ground pound once again, keeping them out of the way, and even going to go ahead and use the Hammer of the Witches right there to do some damage to the mech commander here. We tried to blink out of the way, but it looked like he took the damage anyways. So pretty aggressive plays coming out of the Inquisitor early game here. She is a real beast, and it looks like right now just taking some random crossbolt shots there. More towards the center. Ooh, we do have a multi-laser turret being set up here. Kind of a questionable field of fire. I don't know. I guess that exactly covers that field of fire there. Multi-laser turret. No, it looks like getting too much focus fire here from the shooter boys. Just going to have to go ahead and back away there. Note, by the way, this Luda Boy squad also got set up here. Super duper useful in just kind of doing lots of damage and suppressing guardsmen out there. That'll definitely help. As you guys have probably heard many times before on my channel, having shooter boys with big shooters does suppress, but it kind of reduces their DPS while they're doing it. So much easier to have a Luda Boy squad suppressing a big blob and then have both of your shooters just focusing on doing only raw DPS there. As you can see, some light power generation going on this side, and 2 generators up on the left-hand side for Texaneous as well. Texaneous getting a bit of a ebb and flow kind of advantage in the middle right now. Going to go ahead and take advantage of that and capture some points. But he is just going to have to brace himself because we are definitely going to see a combined attack as Dullahan reinforces and comebacks in the middle. Note, by the way, Dullahan's response is to get his own heavy weapon squad. He's got this heavy bolter team lugging that thing. Man, I do not want to be the guy carrying around the heavy bolter on his back. Look at all those other guys not even helping out. It's sweltering hot. He's out in the middle of the desert. That poor guy. Looking around here, though, looks like he's just going to go ahead and sit up here. Note, by the way, note the whole time Dullahan does have an entirely different squad down here in the south, kind of competing with the mech commander. So the two of them just going to go ahead and get into some light melee here, but always good to kind of split up your forces to some extent and have at least somebody else waging the passive-aggressive war on one side of the map. We can see it looks like the Luda Boy squad has infiltrated. It's been standing still long enough to just blend in with the scenery there, so he's waiting just to kind of pounce on something. The other thing I failed to mention about having the Ludas out like that, and I'm just curious who's winning down here, is that having the Ludas out like this, if they ever do get just kind of a direct ambush on a Sentinel, they can wreck Sentinels. So that's a good little bonus there as well. Nice little ground pound there, just kind of doing some damage to these gentlemen here. Looks like the Slugger Boys were trying their best to decap this point. And what the hell's happening down here still? It looks like the Mech Boy actually toughed it out and won that in close combat. You can see he's got his Daka upgrade, now getting some proximity mines, kind of interesting upgrades going on there. Meanwhile, Dullahan has just managed to take control over the northern position here. So the Mech Boy actually staying in control of stuff. And there we have that surprise suppression right there, forcing the retreat on the Inquisitor. Inquisitor, by the way, getting the Interrogator's armor, which allows her to infiltrate a friendly unit. As I suppose this heavy weapon team was infiltrated, they snuck up, and now they're just going to go ahead and get some good suppression down there. Looks like the Sentinel is taking a lot of damage, though. He's got to be careful. Got to go ahead and Michael Jackson moonwalk out of there. Always nice how this heavy weapon squad can continue firing and repair at the same time. That is something that took me by surprise when I first started playing this game. I kind of expected them to unset up, walk over, and repair, but nope, just one nearby gentleman will do it if the spacing is right. Notice, by the way, proximity mines, not a bad spot. And just doing some light damage here to this power node with the Mech Commander right now. So Texaneous currently is at 441 points, just barely ahead of Dullahan, who's at 437. But by and large, this is a tied game at the moment. We can see here a nice looking ground pound coming out of the Sentinel, once again knocking back the Luda Boys, just kind of preventing them from getting an extra shot off. We can see here he's just going to back up and hopefully get repaired by any one of these guys. But oh, it looks like the guardsmen here getting knocked around a bit by these proximity mines that are all over the map there. And once again, the infiltrated heavy weapon squad kind of moving up, looking to set up an ambush. This is a really effective tactic here. I just love seeing Dullahan do this. Look at him just going to get set up, and is he going to fire? Is he going to bust out and fire there? Oh no, he's unsetting up. Oh, of course, because the loot is camouflaged as well. So now he needs to get a line of fire that'll affect more troops. There he goes. Going to go ahead and open fire on them. The Luda Boys are going to open fire on the Inquisitor. We see a nice little moonwalking back stomp there, but man, that Sentinel's got to be careful. He was really beat up. Going to have to retreat out of there, and what's going to happen? It looks like Dullahan was trying to get a couple of extra repairs on him before he left. I think he definitely should have just retreated instead, though, and bam, down goes that Sentinel right there. Meanwhile, though, this heavy bolter squad just doing a lot of damage here. Just very clever use of the infiltrate and the heavy bolter. Notice the guardsmen in the front even getting in on the action there. Definitely within range to use their laser rifles. However, they're just kind of backing off here. Get some support. Dullahan well on his way to Tier 2, and Texaneous just beginning Tier 2. That was the first model loss of the game so far, though, that one Sentinel going down. Towards the north, the Slugger Boys continue to be annoying, grabbing power nodes. And towards the south, we can see the Guardsmen. Looks like they maybe took some damage here. We do see proximity mines all over the place. Oh, yet again! Just lots of annoying proximity mines being left all over the place here. And it looks like we do have... Oh, the Guardsmen are going to go ahead and set up a multi-laser turret here. So Guardsmen can build these multi-laser turrets. Really huge rate of fire, or range of fire, and rate of fire. They do a lot of damage, actually. Pretty good DPS units. Unfortunately, though, it looks like he's backing away right as that turret needs him the most. He could be repairing it, but it looks like he's just going to try and cap that power node while that thing's up there. They do cost a bit of requisition, though, so you can't just throw them out there willy-nilly. They do set you back, but if you can defend them, they're really good. Ooh, look at the proximity mines. Just mining the hell out of this place right now with that mech commander. Guardsman taking a little bit of fire here from the Daka. And the multi-laser turret here is completely flanked right now, so they need to get up there, start repairing it and defending it. This is a nice position, though. This really does, having this field of fire out there really does kind of help keep Texaneous almost walled into his base. It's not quite close enough to say that it's walling him into his base, but that's definitely the intent there. We can see the Shooter Boy squads down here upgraded. One of them has a knob, I believe, as well. Just going to go ahead and cap that southern victory point there, and the Slugger Boy is trying to get in and unfortunately taking too much damage here from the multi-laser turret and having to back out. Looks like upgrade to a commissar, so that is a big old 12-man squad of infantry there. And now we see the war truck coming out from Texaneous. Texaneous has some fantastic war truck play. I've definitely seen him do all sorts of beautiful things there, what with charging up with the war truck and dumping out the Slugger Boys, just doing lots of surprise damage. Throwing down some surprise power nodes, but yet he's got surprise heavy bolter in the face. Doesn't matter, though, he also has surprise teleport out of harm's way. Catachan Devils are also in the field right now, just up here in the north. Looks like they may even... oh, no, sorry, they are detecting, so they are not going to bump into any sort of proximity mines anytime soon. There goes the old reliable, knocking back a big pile of orcs right there, really helping out. And meanwhile, we have Blink, I think blinking all over the place. That is the mech commander. We can see here that the Luda squad is going to set up, maybe trying to put some damage into this multi-laser turret here. But, oh, I see. The Inquisitor went down, obviously. I'm sitting here watching too many parts of this battle all at the same time. Obviously, during that during that little bit of a battle there, that very wounded Inquisitor that was running by got picked off there by Texaneous. So good-looking stuff there. The war truck moving along here, and more down towards the south. It looks like just kind of taking out the mines here, using the detection ability of those upgraded Catachans here just to kind of take out any sort of proximity mines. Those are quite annoying. Unfortunately, though, it looks like more towards the north. Oh, yeah, there we go. The clown car, the orcish clown car, has shown up, dumped out a whole pile of Slugger Boys there, and has finally wrecked that multi-laser turret. And more towards the south, we have the double huge squads of guardsmen capping away at this sort of thing. Sorry, one squad of guardsmen, one squad of Catachans there. Heavy bolter squad getting a little bit ambushed here, but oh, coming into the rescue, we have a Bane Wolf. So that's a pretty good timing attack there. Likely we're going to see that Bane Wolf just kind of fly up here and take care of this power generation as soon as he does something with this war truck. I think the war truck is pretty much just trying to get the heck out of there for the time being. Way up here in the north, we can see that the mech boy is again bumping into this random squad of guardsmen who seems to have been relegated to just capping different parts of the different obscure parts of the map. Here we have the war truck though, intercepting perfectly, going to jump out and get some forced melee damage on these guys as they're retreating by. Definitely inflicting a few extra casualties there, 3 extra casualties even. So that was definitely a good move.